think we'll be all right with just one screen. You happy with that? Or do you want the other one? Okay, while we're waiting till everybody gathers, just a few announcements. We're going to have tutorial session with you straight after the lunch. Is that correct? Yeah? Yeah. So it's going to be held in Renault building. In the meanwhile, there will be a lunch in the MSS tower. Are you aware of that? Somebody's saying yes, somebody's no. Who is aware of that? Can you just tell details? Right? So it's been held by the school, especially for the final year students, so that you can just get together and celebrate, I don't know, last day of winter, probably. Anyway, are we expecting somebody to come as well? Some more people? Yeah, I know that. I know. Okay, the other announcement I was going to make, but it might be better to wait till everybody gathers, is regarding the coursework. Can you just raise your hands who have received the topic allocation for the case study? You haven't yet? Right, okay. Arcade, the administrator for the course, is going to distribute the topics for your case study. I have already sent you instructions. You should have received it probably a few minutes ago. Please read them carefully, and what we'll do, there will be tutorial session on Thursday next week, right? There will be 1 hour of guest lecture from a person from industry, arranged by Michael. And following that, we will hold a tutorial in the form of workshop. Come in. So that tutorial in the form of workshop will just give you an opportunity to network with your peers that will be doing the same case study, so you can discuss various aspects of the case study. What's most important, you are given a broad topic, but you are free to narrow it down to focus on a specific aspect within this topic. It's up to you. But this is what will make your essay, your case study unique, and this is what will be appreciated by us. So just pay particular attention to that. So during that workshop, we would like you to discuss various aspects within your topic, maybe put some ideas in on what is worth studying, what are the main issues, what materials are used, and so on. We'll guide you through that, so that you can see the whole picture and you can have opinion from your peers, right, from the students. This is what we're planning to do. I hope that will help everybody, but it can only be made successful if everybody gets prepared. Okay? So what is important that you start doing, once you've received the emails this week allocating you a specific topic, you have a preliminary search of the literature, what exists, what studies been available, review papers, and so on. on this particular application, on this particular material systems, or on particular properties, right, or behavior. And then make a note of that so that you can be prepared for a discussion. Okay, this is how we plan to do our second tutorial. As regards to our first tutorial this afternoon, I have emailed you already question sheets, right? So our main purpose is to give you time this afternoon to attempt those questions and fill in the reports, fill in the answers. So this tutorial, this coursework, this tutorial will be contributing to the coursework number 2, right? And that coursework will contain 2 parts. That one is part 1, and it is designed like exam-style questions. Okay? We appreciate that there is no previous exams available because that's the brand new unit. Although I've guided you through the appropriate equivalents of the past units, you might notice that on the blackboard. But be aware that both the structure of the exam and the content of that unit would be somewhat different from what you will have here. At least you will see what the level of expectations from you on the exam will be. Okay? The second part, I will open it early next week. That will be more directed towards your individual work. And to conclude this coursework 2, we will hold the third tutorial, which will be at the end of March. I think it's 22nd of March or 21st of March, something like that, Thursday. And you will have a deadline straight after that tutorial. So what will be most important for you to be successful in the second coursework is to keep working on it in between the tutorial number 1 and tutorial number 3, and make a good progress, consolidate everything, and get it submitted virtually straight after the tutorial, because there will be no time given. As regards to the coursework 1, the case study, the deadline for it will be 3rd of May. So you are given slightly more than 2 months to write an essay of about 1,500 words. No, yeah, which would be equivalent to about 5-6 pages, plus some additional material, plus artwork and so on. So it's not something that is particularly challenging, but we would require your original input there. You can't just get away with copying and pasting material from literature sources. You need to digest it and process within your head to make more generalization, categorization, and achieve more original insight into the subject matter. Okay, so everybody is around, so we'll just have a brief look at where we have been. And I've got a feeling that we just started looking at the silicon carbide materials, haven't we? We have looked at the production of silicon carbide powder here, Aitchison process, which is essentially carbothermal reduction. And correct me if I'm wrong, we just stopped at the refinement of silicon carbide mixtures, or we have looked into that already. So it's somewhere between here and there, aren't we? Okay, let's just switch to this one and see. So we discussed the production of silicon carbide powder, which is essentially a carbothermal reduction of silica in the presence of carbon, which is like a charcoal, that goes via solid into gaseous phase, and then gaseous silicon monoxide reacts with the excess of carbon to produce silicon carbide, and that process emits carbon monoxide, quite a lot of it. It requires a lot of temperature, and crucially, it requires a contact between silica powder and carbon species in order to bring the silica into the gaseous phase, and then it requires silicon monoxide in a very, very close contact with the solid carbon. So the way to make this process more efficient would be to provide a very, very high specific surface area of the reactants, right? And therefore, all the attempts to rationalize this process, to make it more efficient have been primarily directed towards refinement and more close packing of the powder mixtures, right? So that brought up the question how we can control the powder size, particle size of the primary silica and carbon mixtures, because that would be the crucial factor that affect the reaction rate as well as the grain size of the produced silicon carbide particles. Several methods have been developed to obtain different scales of silica and carbon mixtures, but that have been successful. However, normally they would dramatically increase the costs of this process. You can see from the previous slides that this Acheson process is a very, very cost effective, because it can be made into a large scale production of silicon carbide.